Guys, Bitcoin is currently faking out and dropping. Going to be talking about whether we're going to be looking for new trades. Obviously, Bitcoin has been dumping. However, we are still technically holding this little anchored VWAP from 75k. We're going to be taking it a bit slow and also not spending so much time, probably 30 minutes together, answering the questions and seeing what's up. We got White Choice. Thank you, brother, for showing up. Jaden, Idris, Action Tourist. Good morning to White Choice. Afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you, brother. Took a 20 $50 loss. Hopefully you make it back, brother. We got Alejandro. I'm in my investing stage this month, so I'm up. I'll trade next month. Fair enough. Elias, today Bitcoin went crazy. First pump, high dump. Yeah, exactly. Alaikum salam. I didn't do much trading today, so we're going to be looking at the chart fresh today together. I was even fasting, so we're going to be taking it a bit slow today. We got Hamad, Mike, and also OP. Thank you for being here. Again, it's Tuesday today. We had, I think, 3 hours ago, 2 hours and a half, the weeks open because obviously Monday was a public holiday, so there was no market open, and or hence probably why we have such a volatile day. We have seen the news, happen during the weekend, plus the extended weekend field with the Monday being closed, and now we just saw a fake out off the top, and we are seeing a drop again. We don't worry much about the drop or the move that had happened. We just focus on how to look for newer trades. So again, we wouldn't be discussing much about the move or the fake out. I'm assuming I'll be getting questions about it. For example, like why did this happen? What can I do about it? You shouldn't care about it. Just focus on the stuff that you can control. Hence why we're going to be looking at newer, better trades. Hopefully, let me make sure that the ExoChart app is also on. I think it is, but let me make sure that I also got a weekly TPO. Yes, so there's no NPCs for today, not even on the daily chart. Very good to see. Yeah, so let's leave it on the side. Let's start with, hold on. Yeah, let's start with the trading view chart, the plain look here. Yeah, so with the close stick is the daily here. Let's see if something better may come up. Yet. Obviously, we have failed to break and hold and reclaim the anchored view, and that's why I always say, guys, like we want to be positioned in a way that we would benefit off of the break or the break and the hold of the anchored view. We would never ever like buy upon the breakout of that level. So again, because obviously everything is not a fake out until it becomes one, no matter how I guess extended it may look. So yeah, but on the 1 hour time frame, let me make this thinner and check the volume profile. Obviously, we are still kind of looking at a half good of a range here. Obviously, we still got the value low being here. POC is where we rejected off of it. Obviously, it's not ideal to reject. However, obviously, we haven't yet lost the value low. So to be honest, higher time frame, nothing changes here. Don't get easily scared by wicking to 78 or 79.9 and then go back to 76.2. However, on the lower time frame, I guess the closest level to potentially take a trade would be 75.4. Not the best and not the cleanest level, but it is a daily nonetheless. So give me a second here. Yeah, all right. Give me 2 seconds, I guess. All right. I think it's working now. Hold on. Yep. So let's make sure to read the comments, not to miss them. So Maggie, thank you. Ziad and Mubarak to you, brother. Too, Sir Murad, thank you again, guys. Thank you for being here. Even though I just came up at the random time, we usually start these 3 hours prior to that, but I was, as I said, fasting. So again, and also I'm not going to be making a video from this live, so that's why I'm taking it a bit slowly. I don't know what to trade today, honestly. Looking forward for Ahmed. Thank you, OP. Again, like you shouldn't worry much about these. Like sometimes it is fine to not trade or not to see an obvious trading setup. Like that's quite logical, and also it shows that you are actually becoming a better trader because you don't just randomly jump in for the sake of trading. I need to learn more about order flow so I know where the pump will end. Again, like learning more about order flow would never truly like tell you where the pump would start or end. It's not doesn't work like that. It's not as powerful as a lot of people do make it seem to be. Uh, Ahmed, do you expect at least a sweep of 78.5? Okay, before a move durably lower. Again, I wouldn't focus on it. Again, like I wouldn't. It's not something that I would want. Again, so can you explain a little to us about the VWAP and Delta? Very hard for me to break down such ideas in the live streams where we do the live trading sessions, unfortunately. But thank you, uh, Ahmed. Did you take TP? I'm not sure what you mean. Thank you, Hamad and Ice. Thank you for liking the haircut. We've had it for a week or so now. I shorted 77.8 near to the resistance in your previous videos and made profits. Thank you. Sorry for not pronouncing your name, but I'm happy that you've made money. Anyhow, so yeah, the thing is that obviously with those that do know how I trade and how I teach you guys to look for setups, this price action doesn't look like something that is inviting us to randomly trade. Again, like the only half a good thing is the daily. Nothing even crazy on it in terms of volume. There isn't much volume on that level. Uh, the better one would be faking out the whole weekend's low, which is at 74.2. But also at that point, do we want to really risk it by going there and then dropping further? So again, as I said, it is still, or this remains to be the critical level for me, which is 74.2. Also, now that I remember, we can also put back, just for some curiosity. Again, I know for a fact it's going to be somewhere close to this price. But yeah, if you put back the anchored view up, it's currently still above it. It's not something that I do care about on a higher time frame, especially because we've lost it once. So there's no need for me to have it on, even though we've reclaimed it. But yeah, that's something to keep an eye on, as I said. So yeah, I mean, looking at the volume profile, nothing is crazy here. Losing 76.3 can cause us to immediately drop back to 74.2. I would also want to check out exo chart for a bit. So hold on, let me make sure this screen is showing. Yep, it is. So yeah, so regarding the order flow, I think I saw like a stupid amount of shorts entering, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I mean, we had this explosion in volume, classic I mean session open price action. Even, I mean, it's very boring, and that's just, I mean, it's reasonable because we had the weekend and also Monday. So even the value or low and high of the previous day is very close to each other, and the open of today is very close to the open of yesterday. They're only like $300 apart. So again, we don't want to overly stress about what's happening now. Let's let the market cool down and actually move to whatever price it wants to move to. We shouldn't overly stress about the price action we had in the weekend. Again, it's also very closely, I wouldn't even care. Yes, nothing crazy, nothing major here. Again, I know that I'm not saying much today, but that's the reality. But order flow tells the contract and sizes, right? That's why we see who's in control. You kind of like gauge what's going on in the market. It does not really tell you what's going to happen. Sorry for my bad English. It's fine. Thank you, brother, for commenting. Did you TP at 78k or 77.8k? I'm not sure. Where did you pull the anchored view up from? My anchored view up is showing it at I pulled it from the screen. I did it live, so I don't know how to, or how I better. I pulled mine again, guys. I don't want you to over stress about the exact minute and the exact second where you pulled your anchored view up from. Uh, if the difference is very like high, then it's probably because of the chart difference. Maybe. Other than that, I'm not sure. And also yours being at 67, 76 to 50, 520, and mine showing that it's like, I think it was like something like here. It's not correct. It's not that important on higher time frame. I entered the short today after the New York market open and after it took yesterday's high. Amazing. That is absolutely lovely to see. Absolutely something valid. Again, like, that's a classic trade. Again, I wasn't planning to take a trade today, and I won't probably even take one tomorrow. But yeah, it is obviously something very absolutely valid, and I probably should have highlighted the fact that a lot of you guys should have taken this trade. Those that do care about the classic strategy we teach. Again, for those that probably haven't heard of it, you should have. But anyhow, yeah, there's a video about it. So the daily 5 minute scalping strategy, which is pretty much taking out the high of the day, but it's even better when you have a previous other daily high, the Monday even, because it's the beginning of the week. Liquidity grab. You see the fake out once the NY session opens, and then you go lower. So yeah, if somebody was on it today, they should have and could have again taken a trade. Obviously, whether from the exact high of Monday, or much easily, I'd say, for more confirmation. I mean, I use this word figuratively. Yeah, waiting for the loss of the anchored VWAP and the loss of today's high. So yeah, thank you, holder, for sharing, and I'm happy that at least some of you guys did take this trade. Nobody else told me that they've took it, so I'm assuming it's only one. I see Pen. Thank you, brother. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. So let's wait and see. I also would want to check out ETH very quickly. Obviously, responding not so well with Bitcoin dropping. We are getting ETH against Bitcoin to start again its descend towards like lower prices. So I'm still waiting for lower on ETH against Bitcoin. Hence why that whenever Bitcoin decides to randomly pulling back, ETH is going to be much largely affected. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, as I said, like by losing 76.4, you want to be prepared mentally for an easy drop down to 74. But with not so good of a long being potentially at the daily level, I'm only not forced, but like figuratively forced to mention it because obviously this is the daily, and it has a fine little tick of a volume, so it's not that even deep. But yeah, I mean, don't get sad or mad if this happens fully. So we drop to 74.2 or even to 75.4. I see this as something very logical, especially because like we've built liquidity. Monday randomly opened the session of an NY session of today with the market being open finally, and then see the retracement happen. And especially because we saw an easy move down Friday to Saturday, and then Saturday during the weekend even, so very low volume. We saw the move back up to 76.4. So now going and being open again, it's not predicting, but being open for a potential move lower is very likely. Hence why even the daily at 74.4 isn't that ideal again, even though it's a level to keep an eye on. Yeah, so let me adjust my alert. I entered a short, or I've read this. Did you take profits off of the 76k long? No. Hello, my pro. What about the area? I'm not sure. I went also short, but entry was not optimal around 500. No, I'd say that's more than ideal, to be honest. It did too fast, still holding a little long. I mean, no, it's very good. I wouldn't say that it's not optimal. I mean, at least somebody calling their their entry level not optimal when they have done a good job. I'd take this. I mean, because usually when somebody says, "Oh, my entry is not ideal," they usually mean, "Oh, they've entered once the move had happened." But no, your entry is good. I mean, you could have even like waited for the loss of 77.3. Hello, Ahmed in class. Thank you, Rani. Thank you for being in class. Do you think it's going to break? I have no idea. Please smash the like button. Thank you, Rani. I learned this from you. Thank you, holder. Thank you for being amazing. I have a long from 74 and a short. Amazing, Rajan. Thank you for. Did this drop stop you out? I don't think yet. Yeah, but doesn't matter because I think the stop loss is like 77, 130. So yeah, pretty sure. Last time I checked it before the live, no, but probably doesn't matter. Yeah, because like, I mean, we're dropping, so. But my stop loss is at entry, so it's a trade that I wanted to hold in case we go higher, not because I want to take a bit of profits on the side. But yeah, I mean, we have this volume profile that's not ideal. Like, again, as I always teach you guys, like the volume profile, there isn't a correct way of taking it, but is it wise to look for a long if it fakes out 74.2? Yes. I'm assuming it will carry on going lower. No, again, we don't know. And yeah, as I said, like one of the ideas and the trades I gave, and I even mentioned them in a specific video, I think the Saturday or Sunday video. Yeah, Bitcoin is three new longs, where I gave a long at 76. I even mentioned the daily, and also like an obvious given is like the low of the weekend, value low, full $1,000 number, and the daily. So yeah, I mean, it's not about predicting or assuming stuff. Like, let's not assume stuff. If the trade looks good, we take it. If not, then it's fine. So that's the point. Uh, you want to call it as it is and then wait for it to happen rather than speculate whether it's going to succeed or not. Because a lot of the times, like, what usually happens, like, you plan a trade and then it doesn't even happen and the level gets easily broken. So the time wasted thinking about it could have been used somewhere else. That's my point here. Hold on. Yeah, so I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. Obviously, as I said, I mean, at least the local uptrend is still kind of bigger than what we've done here in terms of losing it or losing the drop. However, I mean, yeah, let's see where the yeah. I mean, yeah, it remains to be my level to watch out for 74k. Again, like me saying that 74k is something that I would prefer to hold for us to at least hold some bullishness, even though we've lost a lot of it. Does not mean, again, I'm just making sure that no beginner misinterprets my what I say. That doesn't mean you randomly sell or short once we lose 74. That's totally wrong. Again, I mean, you know me, guys, but just making sure that nobody kind of gets it wrong, because obviously, flipping bearish is only an idea. It's something you hold in your brain. Does not mean you act upon it. Yeah, because usually I flip bullish when we're pumping, and I flip bearish when we're dumping. So yeah, it's like I'm not the kind of guy to start randomly calling for the top when the top happens, nor will I be calling for the bottom when the bottom happens. Yeah. I just keep on calling the most obvious, simple, probabilistic thing until the sign of weakness or strength, depending on the side we're looking for or at, is given. Or is does change. Bro, much love. Thank you. Thank you, Gio. I don't comment much. I'm always watching. You have helped me a lot with my crypto journey. Thank you, Gio. Again, one of the OGs, so there is no need to comment every single day. But thank you for dropping by and for your nice comment. Thank you, brother. So yeah. Yeah, before I forget, now that while we're at it, hold on, let me take a random pull. Again, as I always teach you guys, taking a volume profile pull, it's not that deep, it doesn't mean anything. You just want to take random pulls to see random stuff. Anyhow, yeah, but yeah, you can obviously see how it can easily be reversed back to like 70s or mid 60s even. Yeah. uh Ahmed, how to you're looking kind of tired today. Yes, I am. But it's good. Thank you, Tanish. Ahmed, how to add the volume profile like the way you have? I don't know exactly what's special about the volume profile that I've got. The only difference again is the color, and you can copy the color. It doesn't matter, but you can copy it if you want to. Again, it's just an orange and the red. I think I just randomly chose them. And for the only actual difference is going to be the row size. So make sure to have this different. Put it in left side. I don't know what you mean. Hey champs, good morning. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you for showing up. Back to the grind. Excited to hear your thoughts, brother. Thank you for showing up. What about the VWAP from 65k? It is about 75.3. It could bounce from there. Uh, yeah, again, as I said, I've mentioned it, but I'll repeat it. I don't usually over stress about an anchored VWAP that got broken down and then reclaimed. Again, I don't ignore the fact that it's absolutely good and at least half decent that we've went back and then immediately went back above it. So it is technically valid, but again, it's not something I care about. As in, like, it's not something. Okay, it's fine for me to keep in mind that we're above the anchored view up, hence I guess holding the uptrend. But also, it's not something that would make me take a trade, for example. Like, it was one of the reasons why I forgot which trade, but was one of the reasons why I longed Bitcoin once. Yeah, I think I remember. It was last Monday even, when we longed like 76k. It was based on us nearing and almost hitting the anchored view up, along with other reasons. Now that we've lost it and reclaimed it, it only remains to be a good thing, but it's no longer something valid for me to try and like take a trade with it. Hopefully you understand it. So that's why like some of the stuff are more contextual for you guys to understand rather than to memorize, because yeah, I understand like it is technically valid. Are you saying losing the anchored view up and reclaiming it makes it not as strong as it originally was? No, again, I said what I said, so I don't think I can rephrase it in a better way. All I'm saying is that it remains to be a good sign, but I no longer prefer to take trades with it. I mean, in the most part, not something guaranteed, but yeah, it remains to be. Let's say it's in the scale, in this hold on, in the scale of like it being a signal as in like a sign, and it being like a reason to enter a trade, a confluence. Okay, forgot about the forget about, yeah. If they were 100% in both, hold on. So that's a signal, and that's the no, sorry, that's the confluence for trade, and that's signal. Upon losing it and then reclaiming it, it probably drops to like 90%, so it remains to be a very important, or maybe 80%. And as a signal or as a trade itself, it probably drops to like 30%. So hope you understand exactly. It remains to be good analytically, but it's not something I usually use again as a confluence for a trade. But again, that's why it's always contextual, guys. You may find me like randomly using it as a reason a year later after this, so there's no promise for me. But yeah, that's why, for example, I delete the level, or I delete the anchored view up. Again, I acknowledge the fact that it's probably somewhere around here, but I don't want it to be here because it looks bad on the chart, and I probably wouldn't be taking a trade with it. Thank you, Hamad. Thank you, Said. All right. Hopefully it's a bit clearer now. Yeah. So let's wait and see. Again, as I said, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I remembered. So I wanted to mention that we have kicked the final 4 days of the trading competition, or the event, whatever you want to call it. Trade to win a Rolex and a MacBook Pro. What a lovely, I guess, headline. Anyhow, so yeah, we've got 4 days and 23 hours, guys, for this current competition. For those that would love to participate, you can do so by clicking on the first link in the description. As I said, the event is going to run till the end of the month, and whoever has an account, or even doesn't, just clicking, ignore my face, just clicking on the link once, which is the first link in the description, also pinned in the comment section. You click on it, you'll get here, and then once you come to this page, if you have an account, make sure to be signed in, and then press the join now button. If you don't have an account, hold on, this is the button. And if you don't have an account, same button should be pressed, and then you will I guess will be asked to make an account. As said, guys, no KYC, very quick to do. And as I said, sorry guys for my tiredness today. You will be unlocking like your rewards as you trade, so that is independent of anybody else. You're not in competition with somebody to win your own prizes. However, the only competition would be for first place. As promised, first place will be getting a special extra USDT Cash reward from me personally. So it's top place will get a reward, and then everybody else would win whatever they've unlocked. So let's say I unlock tier 3, I'll get 3, 2, 1, and like whatever you unlock, you keep going and you keep claiming rewards. Yep. So very, very simple and self-explanatory. How much money do I need to start that thing? You can start with as low as you want. There's no limit. There isn't an exact amount you need to trade with. Yeah. And how do I win for making most PNL? No. So again, just because it's not a competition, realistic, it's just an event. So you just trade, and the more you trade, the more the volume counts towards you unlocking more gifts. So yeah, it's not about the P&L. You're not in competition with others in regards to this. This leaderboard is only for just for, I guess, its actual usage is nothing. I mean, there's nothing with it. I'm only using it for my own self to look at the first guy and whoever wins top place. Yeah, but realistically, it's not a competition, so it doesn't matter if you are, 3 or whatever. That's why there's no ranking truly. Like, there's tiers. Whoever unlocked the highest tiers, doesn't matter their name, trading volume, and unlock time. So there's no competition, there's no ranking. At this time, I haven't found many confluence points for Bitcoin price. Exactly, and it's fine. So again, like, you shouldn't It's actually good that our strategy and our way of trading does not offer us random trades at random times. That's why we want to be greedy. Like if you were to ask me now what I would prefer, I mean the closest good potential trade could be at 74 or bump into 78 or 79. So yeah, it's fine to be honest, Alejandro. Don't stress about it today. Trading volume means how much he made. No, so trading volume is the value of the contract when opened and when closed. So you open it counts once, when closed it counts once. For example, so this guy has trading volume of $239,000. It may seem crazy. Oh my God, this guy made a lot of money. No, he didn't. Yeah, it's just the accumulation of the worth of his positions opened and closed. For example, if you only have $1,000 and you usually trade 20x, so that would be 1,000 times 20. So it's going to become $20,000. Opened is 20K, closed is 20K, so that's 40K. So somebody with $1,000 can easily count as 40K once in one position, let alone the competition running for 7 days or more now. I think 10 days. Yep. So again, if you don't truly know, still understand it, just look up what is trading volume or how is trading volume counted in crypto. You will understand deeper, or I guess more precise. This is a trick question. Let's see. Got a long from 74.9, took some profits at 77.8, and I moved my stop loss to 76. Fair enough. Now I'm thinking of moving my. Oh, sorry, you longed here, you took here, and now stop loss is here, and it's going to be probably hit. Now I'm thinking of moving my stop loss lower. What do you think? Will you move it or leave it at? Okay, so how much you took? 50% or less? That would probably make it a bit easier on my, because your entry is very good. If you were to move it, I wouldn't move it fully below 76K. Hold on. Yeah, it's like you have the option potentially of putting it like below 75.4 only if you had taken more than or 50 or more TP at 77.8. Like because you had a wonderful TP, it's fine for you to kind of move your stop loss, but I don't like the only thing that I would maybe like find an issue with. I don't like the idea of like only wanting to move your stop loss because oh you don't want it to be, I mean, a hit. Like the sole reason why you took profits and moved it to 76 because you didn't think it's likely that we go back to it. Now that we are very close to your trade being stopped out, you wanna protect it by giving away profits and lowering your stop loss. So as an idea, I disagree with it. But again, if I was the one position or managing the position from the first place, I wouldn't have moved my stop loss. So that's why I'm kind of alright with the idea of like moving it from 76 to 75 or something. It's mental. Your first long yeah is the daily probably, yeah, not the most ideal one but the only have good potential long zone. My preferred one would be lower, by the way. It is in conflict with the NPC, by the way. So for me at least, yeah, again, that's why that NPC that you're speaking about isn't that strong. Again, like whenever you see less or use a conference or whenever you don't see an NPC on my chart but it's on yours or vice versa, it's probably because it's a not so strong NPC, but it remains to be good or usable at least. Yes, 50%. To be honest, at 50%, you should, again, it depends on your emotional kind of effect or the effect on your emotions, but yeah, I mean, moving it back to 75.2 or 75.1 should be acceptable. Hello, thank you, Ali. But yeah, it should be acceptable. But the idea of moving your stop loss, lowering it just so the trade keeps on living and seeing another day is something I dislike. Do you have a rule of thumb for taking profits once the trade is up? Like taking, yeah. So do you usually hold off? No. So my rule of thumb, and again I do like this because it's not exactly an exact rule. So it's more of a rule of thumb kind of. So yeah, once the trade, again, it's very easy. So it's double sided. So if a trade loses, there's no management for me to do. It's a stop loss, preset stop loss. If it's hit, it's hit. But let's just assume we take the different other route of the trade winning. So if the trade is in profits, I've got three things that I do, and I usually do them in order. I say usually because obviously not 100%, but if the trade is in profit, I usually first move my stop loss to entry, and that is probably done like very quickly. By quickly, I mean like the price doesn't have to go much higher or lower than my entry in profits. So that's the first thing. I move my stop loss to entry. Second thing is I usually pick a good strong zone for taking 50%, and that zone is probably where I also look for an opposing sided trade. So for example, if I have a long, I'll probably be looking for a short at that level. And third would be the final thing that I don't usually do a lot, which is take full profits on the trade or closing it fully. Yep. So that's it. Thank you for the question. Originally stop loss, what's thinking on that daily? Yeah, it wouldn't make much sense to put your stop loss at support. I don't like the word support, but I hope you know what I mean. Like, why would you put your stop loss not below a level but at the level? I mean, you're welcoming kind of the price action to make the funniest thing of hitting that level, hitting your TP stop loss, and then reversing. So honestly, thanks to Ahmed Trading, finally makes sense. Thank you, Ali. That's something that's truly nice. So far, moving stop loss to entry once it bounces and taken is a great strategy. Think to re-enter another separated trade if given. Amazing, amazing. Said just make sure to not look for a trade because your previous trade won. Like, stop thinking of taking a trade. Stop wanting to take a trade. Look for a trade. If a trade is given, then you go and take it. Exactly what I was thinking. Greedy motivated me to agreed. Yeah, no, all good. Thank you, Alejandro. I mean, again, those not mistakes, but those issues and like those kind of conversation about regarding the trade management and so on are good issues to have. Like, I can clearly tell whether a person is like profitable, close to profitable, doing good, or not doing so good. So again, like it's a good issue to have. Thinking whether to move your stop loss back to break even or a bit higher than it or at profit or in profit. So it's good. So thank you guys. I mean, it is or has been a lovely live session today. Even though I'm not so energetic today. Again, I just drank my first cup of coffee 40 minutes. So again, 5 minutes before starting the live stream. So thank you guys for being lovely. As I said, because I'll probably leave it at that. Finally, for those who are still looking to join the competition, I think everybody who wanted to join has probably did, but just to, I guess, make sure that maybe some of you guys would want to, you got the link to the competition here. Again, just excuse me repeating it twice per live stream. What do you think about not using stop loss like I do? Not using a stop loss could mean either of two things. It's either you're using your liquidation price as your stop loss, and that is maybe a bit advanced, but can be done. That's maybe done by 1% of those that don't use a stop loss. The other 99% of people that don't use a stop loss aren't or don't have an actual strategy. They just gamble their money. So again, if your stop loss or your liquidation price acts and resembles a stop loss, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Mathematically, it does not matter. It sounds smart of you to say, oh, I don't use a stop loss, because you kind of do. If you are with the group of 99% of people that don't use a stop loss randomly for no reason, then this is gambling. Yeah. So whatever you're doing, hopefully it's a good bit. Hello from the USA. Thank you, David. Thank you for dropping by and saying hello. Thank you. I just use margin and choose the amount of cash I'm willing to lose. Exactly, but again, I don't have that. Still doesn't exactly mean how much or whether you're using it correctly or not. So yeah, I'm still gambling. Lol, gonna have to lock in. Yeah. Sorry, what you said now does not really tell me what or how you're using your no stop loss trading methodology, because again, I only said those that use their risk liquidation price mathematically to resemble and to act as the stop loss, this is not gambling. But for you to pick again, what you said is like that's very similar to gambling, or exactly gambling. You only gamble what you're prepared to lose. That's gambling still, because uh, uh, as said, like a stop loss does not only, you want to understand this thing, a stop loss does not only act as a feature to kind of only make you lose whatever you're prepared to lose. That's the first half of it. But also a stop loss is a mathematical way of putting your, I guess, exit at a level where your trade is no longer valid. So by you actually not using a stop loss, but only risking however much you are willing to lose, that still does not fully get you the full stop loss experience. Uh, I don't use it because I think too much about it. I don't like when it hits. Fair enough. That's that's very fair. I mean, I cannot comment or say nothing about it. I mean, excuse me if I find it funny, but it's fine. Again, but like you not liking the feeling when it get hits does not mean you shouldn't use it. Again, like you'll probably hate the feeling of losing much more than losing a little bit by a stop loss. But yeah, thank you for the comments, by the way. I mean, what a lovely, lovely opinion again. As I said, guys, like don't get overly stressed about what Bitcoin has been doing now. It is the beginning of the week today, technically, with the Monday opening. Today has been open for only 3 hours and 7 minutes, so it's fine. If it was to completely drop, we are looking at 75.4 and 74K. If it does bump, then I mean, good for us and good for it. Hopefully, we continue to do so. Again, like we are at a very critical level. Like we would need Bitcoin to easily go back to 78 for us to have some breathing room and for us to gain some more bullishness into the market, while we're below the anchored view up, the blue line here, and also obviously the big volume block, I'd say from like 78.78k to 76, 77k. While we're below it, it remains to be a very key crucial kind of level that would probably stop us from going further higher. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, brother. Not gonna lie, I don't care about losing cash. I'm mad always my strat didn't work. Fair enough. All right, thank you, brother, and thanks everybody for dropping by, saying your hellos and highs. Again, sorry for not showing up as intended today. However, I'd much rather just show up than not show up at all. So thank you guys for being lovely and amazing. As said, probably today there wouldn't be a video, an extra video. However, I mean, hopefully this 40 minute long live stream is good enough for you guys to understand what to do and what not to do. Again, we want to remain patient. Not every single day a trade is given, and that's actually a testament to our strategy working well. If every single day at every single level we get lots of trades, then we don't truly have a strategy. So hopefully our patience does pay off. We'll be waiting, guys, for more and better opportunities, and hopefully, again, tomorrow is Eid for those that do know what it is. So it's probably it's a public holiday. Let's put it that way. If I'm able, then I'm going to make a post. If not, then don't get sad or mad at my disappearance tomorrow. Thank you guys for being lovely and amazing, and